All right. What's up, everyone? Sebastian here. Another video here, still in Cali, Colombia, is living the high life, and got something interesting I wanted to talk about today. I saw this post on social media, on Facebook, and usually it's kind of a cesspool. It's basically like LinkedIn with all these virtue signaling liberals, and I couldn't help but comment on this one post. Okay, so this dude, I think he's Welsh or something. He says, I've been chatting to a recruiter recently for a role. Turned out the role wasn't a good fit for me. I referred someone who would have been a great fit, except he had a skin color they didn't like. Shocking. I will never do work with anyone with these values. And it was a 5-figure a month role. If you're in sales and you've been turned down for a role because of your accent or your faith, I want to know your story. Comment below. And no, I won't show who it was. I won't do any further business with them. He shows a screenshot. It says, the person recruiting says, between you and me, this offer is for a white guy only. The business owner prefers a white guy. Now, if you follow my channel, guys, and if you're just stumbling upon this, well, you're going to get a very clear idea of who I am and what my values are. You guys will know that I would side with the recruiter on this one because it's his company, or a company has agency to decide who they want to work with. If they want to hire a white person, then they can hire a white person. Like, why force them to have to hire someone else? It's disgusting. But we live in Delulu land, at least in the Western world. It's mostly Western people who just don't fucking get this. They've been infected by this liberal mind virus. And so we've got a whole bunch of other people who support him and who come out of the woodwork and say, oh, it's so sad. You dodged a bullet. Blah, blah, blah. And then I come in, very neutral, and I say, can you elaborate on why this would be a negative? Does a company not have the agency to decide who they want representing them? But of course, this is the equivalent of walking to a nest of vipers. They don't give a fuck. These kinds of people don't have any capacity for having a rational, neutral conversation. Anyone who opposes their ideology is going to be lashed out at immediately and called out and vilified. So I knew what I was getting into, okay? And he says, there's nothing to elaborate on. As soon as someone's skin color comes into the decision-making process, no matter who brought the decision in, the decision will be based off discrimination, okay? Obviously, he's not very eloquent when it comes to his writing because he used the word decision 3 times, basically successively there. I remember when I was selling door-to-door, there was a community that was mostly Muslim. I was told I'd never make any money there. Turned out it was where I hit my personal best. Cool. Awesome. That's apples to oranges. You're selling to those people, okay? And you're representing a company. Okay, it's not your company. It's not your call. They want you to go sell in the Muslim neighborhood. You can say that you don't want to. They'll just go find someone else to do it, right? I would have probably no problem with going out and doing something like that myself, but we're talking about the other side of this where you're deciding on who you want to bring in, who you want to work with, and who should be representing your company, okay? If a black guy goes to a Chinese company and he might actually be fairly qualified on paper, doesn't matter, he's not getting the job. But I don't see liberals getting all up in arms about the fact that Chinese companies don't want to hire black people. You know, like, get fucking real. And then I decided to extend the conversation and turn it into a different direction too. I said, so if a country discriminates against a known criminal trying to enter its borders, that's also a negative. He says, you're being pathetic. So here we go, right? Liberals, they can't take it. A criminal is usually identified by their conduct, not the color of their skin. So obviously he doesn't get the fucking point. We're not even talking about skin color anymore. We're talking about the idea of discrimination. Discrimination is a good thing. Why do you think civilizations of the past built castle walls and had sentries guarding their gates because they discriminate against who they want entering their domain. The Chinese built the fucking Great Wall to keep out the Huns. Oh, but you should let the Huns... No, 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 no. You fucking shouldn't, because they're going to rape and kill your people. They don't get it. And then I have a bunch of other dorks chiming in. Some bitch says, oh, he's clearly in the same boat as the recruiter. So sad to see in this day and age. Yep. Yeah, I am. And this other bitch, this lesbian hoe who's, apparently she's pretty well known in this industry. Some Australian hoe. She says, okay, well, I won't be doing business with you. Note taken. I could say the nastiest fucking things to these people, but what would I really be gaining? I'd be gaining a little bit of attention, a little bit of publicity here. At the end of the day, I don't think it's worth it. I don't want the negative energy, because these people are disgusting. These people are fucked in the head. Okay, I say live and let live. Okay, if company A doesn't want to hire black people, or doesn't want to hire Muslims, or do business with Chinese, or do business with gays or whatever, cool. Do you not live in abundance? Do you not think that there's maybe a couple other 100 companies out there that have no problem aligning with your liberal values? Does every company need to toe the line and be exactly the same? And let me add this in. I didn't see anywhere near this amount of outcry 5 years ago, 4 years ago, when a certain experimental medication was required by basically every major company. Even a freaking grocery store was checking your papers if you had this medication. No outcry there, but if I'm not mistaken, that's discrimination, right? Because they were not allowing certain people to gain a certain position. They weren't even allowing kids to go to college unless they had that shit. Where was the outcry there? Oh, right. It's just because, those people with this liberal mind virus, they just flip-flop and they can't compute. I would expect that many of you watching this are fairly educated. I don't mean educated in the school system, but you actually read books, right? You actually know how to do some research yourself. Maybe you've read that book, 1984, Double Think, if you remember that term, the idea of having two completely opposing ideas sitting in your head, and then when called upon, you lean in towards one of them, and then when the situation is called for, you lean into the other one, right? Oh, discrimination is bad. You should hire everyone and anyone, and you're not allowed to say that you as a company owner don't want to work with certain people. And then on the other hand, you as a business have the right to decide if you don't want to let people who didn't take the VAX into your store. Absolutely, because they're endangering people and they're going to get other people sick. That's absolutely called for. No. Children, mentally children. And what's even more scary, what's even more frightening is that these people vote. These people do business. These people make money. Live and let live. I don't concern myself with the opinions of sheep. You shouldn't either. But take it from me, I could start a complete shitstorm here. I could get a lot of attention for it. And any good publicity is good publicity. Just ask Mr. Donald Trump. But I'm not quite at that level. So at the end of the day, maybe if I were a little bit further along, right? Kanye West, for example, he doesn't give a shit. He's got his money. Right, and he has a lot of people who've come out in support of him. I would say I pretty much support him and what he's putting out there these days. It's just truth. People are getting their feathers ruffled over just what a lot of people are thinking. A lot of rational, intelligent people can see. They just don't want to admit it. So, yeah, it is what it is. Have a good one, guys. It's a bit of a different video today, kind of touching on the topic of sales, but more on the topic of just, don't fucking deal with people who are idiots like this. And you know what? There's plenty of opportunity. I bet even if I were to start a shitstorm, people would think, oh my God, you're totally committing career suicide. No one's going to hire you. I don't give a fuck. You know what? There's plenty of people out there who do feel the same way as me and who would probably send me a couple of private messages and say, yo, Sebastian, I fuck with you, man. I admire your bravery. I admire your courage for speaking up and having the balls to stand on your values. And I want to work with you. So what do you know? You know, you can go off and make money with people who actually do share your values. There's enough to eat for everyone. Just because you see these people being outspoken and being so just treacherous and disgusting doesn't mean that, you know, if you piss them off, there's no opportunity. That's what they want to use against you. That's the last little thing I will say here. They want to dangle that in front of you. They want to say, if you don't comply with us, then you're not going to get any opportunities. And that means no money and none of this, none of that. It's like, okay, well, I think I'll take my chances. Because they want to make you think that their worldview, their narrow worldview is all that there is. When in reality, it's like, nope, I'm going to go over here. You're not allowed to go over there. Like, there's an opportunity over here, so I'm going to go over here. Oh, there's another opportunity over here. Oh, and they actually agree with me. Oh, and they actually support me. I'm going to go over there. Oh, God. Have a good one, guys. Take care. Talk next time.